Hello and welcome back to our Stellaris Let's Play. This is episode 3. My name is Juggerbird, and we are currently playing as the United-Jugger-Bird-Empire. Last episode, we began colonizing Hastilla 3. Well, we're about to begin colonizing it, and we left off trying to pick an Ascension perk. I think after reading through these, I think the best option is probably going to be Interstellar Dominion. The stars beckon and we follow. May nothing stand us between us and them. I think that just works well with our goals for this, finding our lost colony, or well, we are the lost colony. So finding our home species and just kind of expanding and making friends to, or fighting enemies that we need to. Go ahead and hit play here so we can get this colony ship going, so we can name our colony there. And then yeah, we're just kind of still in this exploration phase, still looking for resources to gather and build just our empire out a little bit here. Trying to find more planets, other alien species, and whatnot. It's a very slow start, as it were, to just kind of get everything going. We have a couple anomalies down here to research if we got levels, so it won't take forever. There's a couple more up here that are also going to take a while. The signs of precursor activity will be helpful just for...
The conquest of a new world has begun.
Alright, so our colony ship has landed. So our colony ship has found a rare patch of open ground in the jungles of Hastilla Prime. It made planetfall. The landing site is surrounded on all sides by lush vegetation, and sentry drones have been deployed to guard against predators. The ship has been permanently converted into the administrative headquarters of the new settlement, and its reactor core is in the process of being removed so that it may serve as the colony's temporary power source. Hundreds of small tents and prefab shelters have sprung up around the former starship's massive hull as colonists begin to disembark in large numbers. The first Juggerbird city on an alien world. This is a great day, Juggerbird Empire. So now we should be able to rename it here. There we go.
An alien empire wishes to communicate.
Oh, and we have received communications from the Quinty Hive. We can begin talking with them. They're a hive mind. Looks like they're on a relic world here. They say, "We are the Quinty Hive and we speak as one. The hive mind has taken note of your presence. We observe for now. Our future actions will depend upon whether you are a threat, an opportunity for expansion, or an unforeseen variable." So let's see. Let's say we serve our dictator, our emperor here. So the first alien encounter happened. News that we have encountered intelligent alien life for the first time has been received with mixed feelings by our populace. This confirms that what we had long expected. We are not alone in this galaxy. Each new alien species we encounter represents both an opportunity and a threat. We must be wary. These particular Xenos have a level of technology similar to our own, indicating that we achieve spaceflight at roughly the same time. So, as I was saying, rename our colony here to Iron Nest, since we're going to be using it for minerals quite a bit, and just kind of fits our naming scheme there. So let's see. They're right over here. They're actually kind of small as well. So they're hive mind. They have natural neural network and divided attention. Awesome. And now we have some factions that have formed, it looks like. So we have, let's see, led by Governor Ilse. They call themselves the Red Legion. These members pushing hard to assert our military dominance over the rest of the galaxy. Awesome. And then we have our second faction is led by our Imperator, Fa Ra. They're the Loyal Citizenry Group. Their members have been pushing hard for an extreme centralization of political and military power. So I believe that's just authoritarianism. Awesome. So then they give us, the happier we keep them, the more influence they give us, which will just be added on every month here. Let's pause it real quick so we can see where we're going. Let's see, we have actions here. So the loyal citizenry group, they want us to be an autocracy, which we are, and a stratified society, which we have. So they're very happy with us, so they're giving us a lot of influence here. The Red Legion wants us to conquer an alien planet, which is, yeah, eventually we will, but take some time. So, like I was saying something before I got distracted there. But yeah, so it'll take us a long time to colonize. It's currently 2212. We have to wait till 2216, the end of that, because it's the 12th month. So it'll be it'll be about 4 years. 4 years and a couple months from now, in game time. So, but we have our first colony on the way. We're just exploring. You can see that they have
Anomaly
this area
found.
here. Go ahead and research that anomaly there, because it'll take you
Complete.
almost no time. Alright, so let's see, we completed our construction here, so let's go ahead and take this
Anomaly found.
here. And then we'll take a crux just to get the 7 engineering research, which will boost our engineering research quite a bit there. Let's see. Yeah, they closed their borders to us. Let's close our borders back. Because if they're gonna be mean to us, we'll be mean back. And then, yeah, so right now we're just kind of waiting. There's a lot of waiting that happens as just time passes and you're trying to expand and you kind of need things to happen. There are things you can do to further that. I can build a second construction ship. So let's see, we just completed the anomaly here. So someone used a mining laser from orbit approximately 5,000 years ago to carve a large body of writing into the surface of Mathula 2. The massive script covers a large portion of the moon's upper hemisphere. It appears to be a short story chronicling the difficult life of an alien mercenary. Fascinating. So let's build a second construction ship here so we can just kind of take more territory. So that way we can expand just a little bit faster. We have an encounter in Evripip. Yep. We have encountered some alien vessels. They're flagged as beta aliens. And looks like they're an actual advanced alien species. So that'll be even more people to know. So let's see. Edict Monolithic. Unamar 2 is uninhabited and indeed uninhabitable, but not unvisited. Its surface is littered with tall cenotaphs carved from some mineral not native to the planet, evidently placed here by some artistically inclined spacefaring race. The monolith's flowing lines definitely chart a history so fantastical it must surely be fictional. Surely. So we can either just image them for the archives and get 350 engineering research, or we can say that they are beautiful and we can build them across our empire. I think the way that we would go about this as our warlike selves, we would probably just image them and move on. Don't have time for your culture there. Yeah, they don't really like us because of the closed borders, even though they closed their borders first. But that's okay. So we're just expanding here. I think what I'm going to do is upgrade the starport over
System survey complete.
Iron Nest to, well, upgrade it to a starport. Allows us to build 2 modules in a building, which will just help in the long run of us getting there we go. Stop tracking for something. But that'll just get us towards. It just gives us more resources. We can build a shipyard. We can build. So we can build ships, you know, twice as fast now, or we can build. Let's click on this one. So we can build the shipyard. We can build an anchorage, which increases our naval capacity, gun battery, missile battery, and trade hub. And the trade hub increases the collection range for trade resources. So essentially it starts out at 0. So it can only be in the system that the station is. You build 1 trade hub, it goes to +1, so it can now reach 1 jump away. And if you build a second one, third one, so on and so forth, it just increases how many jumps you can do. And it
Anomaly found.
works fairly well. We're going to leave this one because that's going to be a long time. 534 days is a long time to have a scientist stay put. So we'll leave that. Let's see. So we're almost out of jobs here. We only have one more available job.
System
And we're running
survey complete.
low on amenities. So you surveyed this system. Let's get you going this way. So let's, as I was saying, so let's probably build something. So the next job will be a clerk, which does add amenities, which will bring us to +1, which would be good. However, we won't get a new building slot until 35 because it's every 5. So we need at least 1 more job in the meantime. Food we're doing okay on. Food goes down the slowest because it's based on your population growth speed. Just the more pops you have, the more food you consume. So we're okay on that for now. I think what we'll do. Oh, they established communications with us. Perfect. So receiving transmission from the Endigonge Dynamics. Perfect. They're a mega corporation. They're ruthless capitalists. Perfect. They say, greetings. I speak for Chief Executive Officer Fossilin and the wealthy elite of the Endigonge Dynamics. We are always looking for new trading partners, and hopefully we can come to some sort of accommodation that will benefit the commerce of both our nations. So let's see. I would say, because they are militaristic, so let's say our warriors salute you. Be a little cordial with them. So currently their only negative towards us is that we're a new contact. But they are overwhelmingly more powerful and more scientific than us. So I would say we can send a envoy to improve our relations with them. And they have also guaranteed our independence, which is nice of them. So that's a plus.
Construction complete.
That means that if somebody attacks us, I believe, oh, that also means we guarantee their independence. No. Guarantee the independence of this empire. If they are attacked, we will automatically come to their defense. So, sure, why not? It costs us 0.5 influence, but they tend to like us more, so we can make an ally with them. Let's see, our construction has been complete, so let's go there. So the biggest drawback for expanding is generally, or the biggest cost, I guess, is influence, because you gain it the slowest. However, by taking the Ascension perk of Interstellar Dominion, which we did, and reducing that influence cost by 20%, plus
Initiating tactical retreat.
Ooh, our science vessel found a hostile vessel. And then it's a new alien species that are sent to us, the Chalk system. Ooh. They are something. So that's a bit much. Let's go ahead and have Volka here research this anomaly here, and then we'll worry about that.
Complete.
But yeah, that's a pretty strong bunch of aliens over there. Their weakest fleet is still stronger than ours. So, this starport has finished upgrading. So I want to build a shipyard here, for sure. It's just good to have more than one, especially in multiple locations. And then I think I'll build a trade hub just to collect these two bits of trade value here. And that'll just increase our cash flow a bit. And then we can build either crew quarters, which will reduce the upkeep for docked ships, or I would say maybe a resource silo. We're not really approaching the cap on any resources, so probably just the crew quarters for now. Which will, if we start a second fleet, we can have it based here in the Hostile system over Iron Nest, and it will be just that much easier to, we can send them different directions, and then they'll also be cheaper while they're sitting in port. So far so good though, we're making friends, they like us, which is great. We could even form a commercial pact. That costs us 0.25 influence each month. We're already doing 50 for their guarantee of independence. They get 1.8 credits and we get 10.73.
Construction complete.
I think that's a really good deal for us, and it increases our trust a bit. So let's do that. So then we can build our mining stations and our research stations. So yeah, basically, I mean, construction ships, it just doubles the speed at which you can expand. But you do have to monitor your influence. It does cost us 48 influence per system to claim, well, to build a outpost in, which when you're only gaining, 4 a turn, it's kind of expensive. So you can see we are getting 21.61 energy credits from trade, which is the combination of our trade value plus the commercial pact that we signed. And then you can see we have a shipyards tab over here, so that since we built the shipyard in Hastala Station, it is
System survey
now classified as a
complete.
shipyard. So that way we can just find which of our starports can build ships easier. It's a nice little tab that they have. We're about halfway done colonizing this. 2 more years. And
Construction complete.
then once that's done, we'll have a new colony that's fully ours. Right now they're just basically doing the final preps for it. So we got the resources there, we'll expand. Yeah, our engineering research is doing a little bit better than other resources, partly just because of what we have claimed about the system here. Oh, I just realized I forgot to build a mining station there. So go ahead, go back, build this mining station, then we'll claim the system out there. Almost missed that on a couple credits a month. League Naval Base. That's from this anomaly down here, it looks like. The wreckage of what must have been a major First League naval base has been detected in orbit around Niamba 1. I don't know. We know the League maintained a massive fleet called the Grand Navy to combat piracy and safeguard member nations from external aggressions. This particular outpost appears to have provided berthing for one of their RimWorld patrol fleets. Remarkable. So go ahead and do the research project in the system. and we found a new strategic resource, Volta motes. Awesome. These pre-natural particles contain tremendous amount of energy, which could be exploited in energy production or as fuel or even as explosives. Awesome. And that is in the Nazca system. Ooh, saying these names is fun. So we can kind of expand along this route and be able to claim that. I believe Zero
breakthrough achieved.
Has to do with psychic powers. I forget what they're called. So we completed our research there. So we can go ahead, that was for coil guns, so that's rank 2 physical weapons. So our next one can either be increased minerals, ceramo metal armor, so rank 2 armor. I think we'll probably go with geothermal fracking and increase our minerals from miners by 20%. And then we can go ahead and we can upgrade their fleet. Since I haven't adjusted the ships yet and they're just the auto best that the ships will build, we can see that right now it's got 2 small blast drivers and a red laser. And then once it's done upgrading, it changes the ship a little bit, so now it has a sentinel point defense, which is good against missiles, a small red laser, and a small coil gun. Basically just gave them the rank 2 guns to make them a bit stronger, more powerful there, which is always helpful. So then we'll go ahead and we'll send this construction ship down to Mathula. We'll claim the system, and then that also gives us access to the Deja Vu Dig archaeological site, which will need a level 4 scientist to be able to run.
Found.
Go ahead and research that anomaly. Be easy. And we're almost done with this precursor research project here, which will give us a precursor artifact. And we'll just need 5 more. Easy peasy. See how our allies are feeling.
Our ships have been made superior.
Thank you. So our ships our relations are improving, slowly but surely. It'll take some time.
Construction complete.
Yes, so that'll be helpful. It'll be nice. They're a strong ally. I mean, their fleets are way stronger than ours, apparently. And they just make good money. So that's something that be happy to have a friend with them. Move there. There you go. Click the buttons. Okay. So.
Special project complete.
Perfect. So yeah, we get a minor artifact, a first league artifact, and some engineering research. That's great. So. Ooh, rock potential. This actually has a choice as well. So. Smastica B4 is exceptionally rich in minerals that are unfortunately of no use to us. However, Science Officer Evely believes that the many elements in the crust of this planet can be transformed into potentially more useful forms through positron bombardment. They're asking us to pay 100 credits for this project. I say, let's try it. Let's do it. So go ahead and do the research project there. So we paid for it. And we'll see how the outcome goes. You need a project. So let's see. Your AI does not help with archaeological digs, which is unfortunate, but it's okay. Seems like Uvko might be the best option to come back. Have him come back across the station to this system here to do the dig, just because it'll be a little bit faster. So we got genome mapping research, which is great. So now that we've colonized the planet, we'll start getting clearing blocker researchers available. So we can check real quick. On Iron Nest, we have a toxic kelp field, which is blocking some rushing waterfalls. So if we do this research, we can then clear this blocker. Otherwise, we won't be able to do that. I think That's a good start, because then we can just, the more of these we research, the just better we can expand and be able to handle issues when we arrive on a
Special
planet.
project complete.
They're pleased to report that the experiment was a success. Great. So then we have made that into usable resources, which gives 6 more minerals to this system. That's great.
Construction
Continue surveying that, and then
complete.
we'll survey this system here.
System survey
All right,
complete.
so our starport is now fully built. So now we're gathering the trade value in these 2 systems, which is just adding to our credits there. And then we're claiming this system here. Overall, I mean, they've expanded very quickly. But I think for the most part, I mean, we're bigger than them, which is something. We're just not putting as much into our fleets, I guess. So let's go ahead, go to Fleet Manager. Let's double our fleet size. We can spend, and then we can reinforce the fleet for 477
Initiating tactical.
alloys.
Construction complete.
Oh, we found the home system for these guys. That's both exciting and terrifying. Okay. I guess you can go this way, hopefully, and not die. Unless this is also controlled. Oh, we found a new dig down in Crimdor. Strange asteroid. So we can now do this dig. I think
Construction
just have to figure out who we want to do that, who's in the area. It might make sense. I don't think the time. Let me start over. I think the time it'll take to get UFCO here back is much longer than the time it would take for, say, Evely to finish surveying the system, survey the system, and come back. I think it'd make more sense, perhaps. Well, okay. You know what? I'll have UFCO survey that, and then come excavate this, because I want this to continue. I want Evely to just kind of continue up this stream, so I think that'll work out okay. And then there's another tropical world here. So if we can manage to get over here, it's another world. We still have to survey it, but it's 17 in size, so it's towards the bigger end. Not the biggest, but not bad. Alright, and then yeah, our fleet has 10 ships in it now, making it worth 414 military power. Still overwhelming, still superior. We might end up clashing with this hive a little bit, just because they're a hive mind. It's a little off-putting. And relic worlds are really nice worlds. Ruin arcologies are like nice to just remove things from, and yeah. So they must have they're a remnant. So this civilization once spanned the void space. So they used to be really big, and now they're just kind of reduced to this. They have multiple planets that they are living on currently, though. So it'd be a little bit harder to eradicate, unfortunately. Alright, so we have a new tradition. So we can either go with supremacy, if we think that, combat will happen soon, and we could push for an early war with this hive down here, the Quenti hive. We could go with domination, which allows us to clear blockers faster. We could go with expansion. Now that we've started expanding a little bit, we could do that, which increases the colony development speed, reduces starbase influence cost. It's also a good early one to pick. Um, I think we'll go expansion first, and then we'll really lean into. Next, we'll probably do supremacy, but I think we'll do expansion. And in theory, I could, next time we get an option, I can grab the supremacy tree and we can work on both. But I like to finish one so I can get the ascension perk because they tend to be rather strong perks that we get. So you can see right now our Empire Sprawl is a bit above what we have the capacity for, which is okay. Part of the expansion tree reduces that sprawl a little bit. It only increases, technology is increased by less than 1%. So, costs are only increased by a little bit, and there are ways we can go about fixing that. We could, build a new.
We have established a new planetary base.
Perfect. So Iron Nest is completed now. It's actually a colony that we can build. We can work on, but I think just remembered I never actually built anything here. So let's build probably. Yeah, I want to build a farmland here, or an agricultural district, so that way we can have just a little bit more food coming in, try a little bit more areas, and then we can go here to Iron Nest. So we can't remove toxic kelp yet, but once we do, we can do that. But I think to start off, we'll build 2 mining districts, just to give us the housing and the jobs, because right now we only have
survey complete.
1 job available, and that's as a colonist.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Awesome. So now we have unlocked automatic exploration, which is extremely awesome, helpful. So we can set our ships to just kind of explore. I think next for our physics research, we'll do the field modulation because it's the cheapest one, and also just increasing our credits. Just trying to get a solid economy going so that way we can ramp up into a war here. And then we can expand into the Nostia system. And things are looking good so far.
System survey complete.
So Evely's finished surveying the system, so now she'll move into the system here and we'll be able to complete the situation log chain, the mass extinction through the ages. All we need is the noxious planet, and then we'll be finished with that. Should be excellent. But on Mighty Nest, once we get our 35th population, we can build a bureaucratic or administrative offices here to get bureaucrats, which will increase our ability to our administrative capacity. So, oceans beneath the ice, deep scans of whatever have revealed a large ocean heated by hydrothermal vents beneath the ice. Several miles of ice, teeming with what appear to be life. So basically there's life under the ice, which is great. And then we can also mount a deep sea expedition there as well. These guys want to form a research agreement with us. So research agreements allow us, if they've researched something, we get a bonus to it, and vice versa. I think we could do it. I think it'll be okay. And then we'll have you here do your research project, and then we'll survey the system. Then we have the special project to look at this noxious planet, toxic world. So yeah, once the survey is done, go ahead and do the research project. Take some time, but it'll be worth it. So yeah, we're just exploring and expanding. It'll be great. And then yeah, once we can research the dense jungle tile blocker clearance, that'll give us 4 extra mining districts as well. You can see that they're scratched out here, just meaning that we can't build them, which is perfectly fine. And then we can also build a gas extraction well here, which will give us the resource exotic gases, which is just helpful to have, especially earlier on, so we can start building a bank of that. And then I believe exotic gases are used for research buildings to upgrade them once we have researched the upgrades. Volatile motes go for like alloys, the alloy megaforges, and the other base one, rare crystals, go for something. Forget. But yes, I mean our fleet is strong-ish. It could be better for sure. So let's see, we can hold up to 20 in here. So let's go to our fleet manager. Let's just cap it out at 20 as we can. So we can spend basically all of our alloys, build the 6 ships, or we can just wait for a second here because allies are also needed to expand our territory here. So we did miss some of these here, but I wanted to make a beeline for this to complete that chain. So these systems can be surveyed soon. We have Uvco here coming to do the archaeological dig. And I think, oh, we're about to finish this.
Special project complete.
The science officer Boka returned from the expedition that studied the rich biosphere and the seas beneath the ice mantle of that planet. Our underwater probes have mapped the terrain and cataloged most of life forms, although the data may be of some use to our biologists. No particular discoveries have been made that would have any applications beyond that. Cool. So then we can just set Boka here to automatically explore. And that'll just kind of fly around exploring, and it'll be a little bit easier because I don't have to babysit them every step of the way. You can see we built our first mining district. So basically, I mean, our population will grow. Slowly but surely. It's reduced because it's a colony. It's reduced because of the habitability. So it takes a little while longer, but they do get a bonus from migration just for being a new colony, which is always helpful. So we can go ahead and build a starbase here. And by building starbases and claiming territories, we can kind of block where other empires can go. So by building this one, they can't go here and build one now. By building a station in Crimdor, the Dynamics Corporation can't expand that direction. It will be able to claim this archaeological dig. It'll be great. Even though they're friendly towards us. Why don't they want a non-aggression pact? Oh, because they're... Mostly because they're stronger than us, and then partly because of distance. That's okay. They'll be our friends eventually. At some point...
System survey complete.
Awesome. If one of us gets the Federation diplomacy tradition, then we could form a Federation. I'm kind of hoping to just make friends with them and then have them get the tradition and then form a federation with us. I don't want our species to be the leader of a federation. That's not what our species is about. We're military minded, but we're not leaders per se. And maybe it works out that we end up being that, but for now, it's okay.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Alright, and we completed geothermal fracking, which is great. So we can pick a new research. So I think what would be good, we can just increase the hull points of our Corvette. So let's do that. Let's Corvette hull points, because it just makes them 100 points stronger, period. It doesn't matter what armor or shielding you put on. So we found an alien mural, which will allow us to... Where did we find that?
Anomaly found.
Oh, it's probably in here. Yeah. So that's a new project to do after this one. After we complete this one, then we'll go research this mural here. Alright, we can play in this system, so we can build mining stations. Since we don't have the Zero distillation technology, we can't build the mining station for the Zero. Same with the volatile motes, they need mote stabilization. So that's why they're grayed out here. But we can work on getting that technology. So I think what we'll do...
Construction complete.
I don't have to use that button to reinforce the fleet. I can just go to the shipyard here and I can build... I think we'll build 3 more corvettes. That'll put us up to 13. Which will be...
Special project complete.
Awesome. So we completed that special project. The cracks in the planet's crust, first presumed to be the result of significant tectonic activity, are actually the lasting marks of impossibly large roots burrowing through the Earth. At some point in the distant past, a freak mutation, possibly deliberately induced by the sapient beings, though it is unlikely they could have predicted the result, caused the native plant life to grow out of control. Many of these plants reproduce through pollination, with countless gametes carried by currents through the lower atmosphere. While this process was originally only caused for mild irritation, the exponential increase in atmosphere-borne particles effectively choked the life out of all animals on the planet in a matter of months. Oh, as someone with allergies, that is the worst way to go. And we completed our study. So while the research expedition often yielded unexpected results, Jugger-Bird scientists now have access to an unprecedented wealth of data on which to accurately model the future of the Mighty Nest. Initial reports suggest that Mighty Nest will be no real danger for at least a dozen generations, save from freak cosmic events or the violent collapse of the United-Jugger-Bird-Empire. So I can say... so we can say, what else can we learn from these planets, which increases... It ends the chain and gives us research. Or I could say the Jugger-Bird-Empire, or the Jugger-Bird people should be put at ease and gain influence and unity, which I think probably makes the most sense there. Just get some influence, get some unity, get closer to I think a tradition. That's the word. And so yeah, that's great. We finished that chain. So now Evely will do this, translate this alien mural, and then I'll have you just automatically explore the system. And we're building our mining stations there. Pretty productive episode so far. We met a couple alien species. One of them is an ally, one of them not so much. Unfortunately, I can't declare a rivalry with them because we don't have terrible relations, which is fine. Limbo. Where am I going? I think it was... here. Signal rates from the remains of an antenna-like structure. Exploratory probes were dispatched to the surface to investigate the matter more closely. What we found was a cavernous vault that was easily pried open. It was evidently the last safe house of a refuge of some long-dead race of aliens. While reasonably technologically advanced, it seems they never reached for the stars and perished to some planet-wide natural disaster. The vault is immense, housing thousands upon thousands of black boxes that we determined to be data devices. Oh, interesting. So now we have a special project to decode them. So go ahead and do that, because I'm very interested now. It's a lot of data. And so you can see it's red. Our military power for our fleet, the Valgar Jet Navy cluster, is red because we don't have all 20 ships available, which is fine. Yeah, so you can see right now our hull points, which is just the base health of the ship, is 300. Once we complete that research, it'll be 400, making them just that much tougher. And they have 100 armor and 50 shields from our modules here. Shields regen, which is why they're better, but they cost power, which is why on smaller ships they might have more armor versus shields. Oh. The vault is a tomb for hopeful immortals. Science Officer Boka asserts that the huge blocks of temporary code found in the databanks are neural images, digitized brain scans. Doubtless the aliens of that planet considered this their only shot at any kind of survival, following whatever calamity befell their planet. They did not have the means to resurrect themselves, but banked on the impossibly small hope that eventually someone else would have the means. So I can let dead aliens lie, or we do not, but download the neural patterns for safekeeping. So I can get less. This might lead to other options down the road, though. But that's a lot of research right now. And I think we're semi-selfish. So let's just leave them be and get the research there. So now you can explore. Still translating this mural. 40 days though, not too long. Yeah, I mean, we did quite a bit. We're now doing this dig, which will be going great. We already got +1 clue. So yeah, and then our fleet's growing. We have Iron Nest growing. Let's see. Still waiting on our first extra pop here, but we'll get there. Like I said, it's very slow on new colonies. So we translated that mural. Science Officer Evely has managed to partially translate the alien mural discovered on the planet. The text contains a staggering amount of data, and the mural evidently serves as some sort of low-tech library. It describes in broad terms the collected technological knowledge of an alien civilization that dominated this region in the galaxy some 80 million years ago. A lot of it is already known to us, but the data does contain several promising leads for technologies we had yet to consider. There's enough data here to keep our scientists busy for decades, but we will need an orbital research station to continue the translation. Wow. So that adds a bunch of science to that system there. We built that there. So since we stopped exploring this direction, we've kind of reached our limit of being able to expand this way. So I think we'll start expanding into this section here. It's going to be some time before we can take this system. We'll need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10k in power at least to really be able to fight through this system. I think we probably have. Yeah, so I can research them. It'll take 10 months, but I want to. That's not what I wanted. I want to finish this. So in 11 months, or 10 months now, a month just flipped over. We'll have this. We'll have our ocean ecology management researched, and then from there, I might move on to gather intel on these. That might lead to us being able to fight them better or befriend them somehow. But either way, it's going to take a long time before we can even tangle with that system. We can not even really fight just a secondary cluster of them, so it'll be a long time. We'll need some stronger ships. Just a lot more going on. So essentially right now, I'm just going to I really want to rush and grab Botine here to get the science boost and the minerals. The resources aren't as big a deal as the science early on. It's good to have the economy backbone, but there's just so much. There's so many ways to get resources, and generally I have a problem with energy credits, so I'm glad that right now we don't. Be able to kind of keep that in check, but generally I guess I spend too much money. And yeah, so I mean, our population is slowly growing. Colonies just that 50% reduction early on is just really not helping anything. But we'll get there. And once we get to 5 and build a building, the planet will get a specialization. Right now it's just set to auto, but we can manually do it. Leaving it on colony is the best at the beginning because it just increases our growth speed by 20%. But next it'll probably be a mining world, which has strip mines, quarries, and boreholes, and heavy machinery across the planet's surface. So basically just recognizes that we have a lot of mining districts, and we can, build mining buildings and whatnot. So that'd be extremely beneficial in the long run. So far so good on this dig here. Only positives, and now we can't get negatives, which is great. And we'll see. Ooh, +2, nice. So 40% chance to finish this dig, or finish that chapter at least. So let's see. I think we'll build one more Corvette there. Just having one big fleet isn't always the best option. Just, combining all of your ships into one fleet there doesn't always work, but what can happen I think because I'm building it from here, it just adds it on. It's weird. Shouldn't do it that way, but
Construction complete.
Having multiple fleets can help, especially if if a empire is larger, you can attack from multiple angles. You can, go in multiple directions. And if they have other fleets, and your fleet's down here, and they have one fleet up there, you can fight both. So we finished this chapter. It appears that the passageway descending towards the underground chamber has suffered some mishap in the past. A cave-in has filled the lower part of the shaft with boulders and dust, in turn making the excavation venture slow and frustrating. I'll keep digging. We can do this. Yeah, so every time I build a ship from the shipyard and not by hitting reinforce, it adds the ship to the... Yeah,
Scientific
it's okay.
Breakthrough achieved.
So now we have the option of researching selective defoliants, which will get rid of the dense jungles, which I think we'll do next. But I'm not forgetting, we wanted to do that one, situation log. I want to investigate the Gamma aliens because I want to just know more about these flying rocks and crystals. So that'll take 10 months. It'll put our society research on hold, but I think it'll be worth it just to get the information going. And then you can see we can go to Iron Nest here, and we can clear this toxic kelp, which will allow us... It also gives us an extra district to build. Right now we can only build 11, or you can see actually the number of districts we can build is reduced by 3 because we have these blockers here. Because you can only build up to 16. We've built 2, minus the 3 for the blockers, gives us 11 remaining to build. So if we build all of the mining districts that we can, that's 6, 9, 10, 11. That leaves us with a couple extra districts to build. So junk ball. The crew report that what first appeared on our scanners as an asteroid is in fact a gigantic floating ball of junk, comprised of the broken remains of various vehicles, rockets, and hazardous materials, many of them radioactive. The junk ball seems to be the detritus of an unknown alien nation in the early space age. It would appear this nation was an interstellar litterer, ejecting dangerous industrial waste into orbit rather than disposing of it planetside. Radiometric data suggests these remains are millions of years old and have been floating through space from an unknown point of origin for most of that time. Some of the materials found on this floating jump heap are quite rare and could be refined to useful resources. Awesome. So waste not, want not. Get alloys.
Incoming
great.
transmission.
Oh, now they want to form a non-aggression pact with us. Heck yeah.
Scientific
Space buddies.
breakthrough achieved.
Allies. Right now they're protective of us, and that should change soon to be something positive. Which will be great. Oh, we finished the research. So we have increased energy credits. So I think what we'll do is improve deflectors, because we already have a little bit of the research done. And then we'll just have rank 2 shields, which will be stronger shields. Overall, just a better system there. Go ahead and we'll reinforce the fleet now. You can see when you hit reinforced fleet, it's building at least 2 ships, so both of our shipyards are working to produce that. So then on the planet here, what I'm going to do is build administrative offices. So our Empire Capital Mighty Nest will have a couple of those. Each job produces 10 administrative capacity, so that'll be 2 jobs, which will give us up to 70 capacity, which will keep us from, because right now every district, every system, every colony, and every pop adds on to that total. And the higher over we go, the more expensive things can get, as you can see at the bottom there. I say this was a fairly productive episode. We expanded, we found some resources, we found some friends, making progress on a dig. Our navy is growing. They're starting to like us. Why are they starting to like us? Who knows? Just probably bouncing out after the new contact stuff. So they're still protective of us, but now it's positive, which is still good. The new contact is going down. We're improving our relations. We have agreements with them. So we can offer a migration treaty. What that means is that their pops can grow on our planets through migration, and our pops can grow on their planets through migration. And this increases our trust, which is, can I see our trust somewhere? That's our attitude. Used to be like right here.
Special project.
Not sure, but that increases our trust, which is just helpful. Ooh, okay. So we have a tradition to pick, and then we have finished our study of the crystalline entities. The reports of strange, free-floating crystal-like objects observed in certain systems have been investigated. The ship-sized objects and their slightly smaller but equally crystal-like satellites at first appeared inert, but sudden shifts in their orientation relative to our ships and new energy signatures emerging from within the prisms indicate that they should be regarded as hazardous and approached with caution. Even should we not find a martial use for them, studying a shattered crystal would no doubt yield interesting results. I think for us, it'd be easy prey. So we get the Crystal Hunter modifier added, giving the following effects. Damage to the entities is increased by 33%, and we get 500 minerals for every entity fleet that we destroy. That's pretty nice. I think we'll do that. Then we'll grab, probably reach for the stars. So now it's even cheaper by 10% for influence to build an outpost. And I think with that, it's going to be time to end the episode. We have expanded, we've made friends, we're making a friend, probably a soon-to-be rival here. But yeah, thanks again so much for watching. Really does mean a lot. And see you in the next episode.